Hello everyone, this is Doug Nelson, the founder of Precision Neuromuscular Therapy, and today what we're going to be exploring is Scapulocostal syndrome. Big name for a very common condition. So what scapulocostal syndrome is a very common malady that many people experience, and if you look at the sort of the dot in the picture to the left, that's an area that many people struggle with and have pain that can go down the arm and also go up into the neck. I found references to this condition back to 1873. So newsflash, this is not a new condition, although it's one that we seem to struggle with more and more for a multitude of reasons, which will become obvious in just a minute. So again, the pain pattern for this is typically felt kind of behind and between the shoulder blades, almost always on one side. You can have a distributed pain between your shoulder blades that can be due to other more superficial causes, but this is a very deep ache behind your shoulder blade that then will radiate often down into the arm, sometimes into the little finger, and often it will go up into the neck as well. It can be a little confusing as to its presentation. Who's mostly at risk? Anyone who spends a lot of time with their arms out in front of them for any period of time, and especially if your head happens to be forward as well. Does that sound familiar? For a lot of us who are spending way too much time sitting at desks working on laptops or computers, or especially as I'm recording this during the time of COVID, when so many people have gone to work at home in environments that were never really ergonomically designed in the same way that their work environments were. That tends to actually stress this area big time. But there are other conditions and occupations where I've seen this. My first introduction to this years ago is working with people who were choral conductors and orchestral conductors, because again, their arms are out in front of them for extended periods of time. That's when I first became aware of this condition. Now, of course, we see it in many more occupations than we have in the past, because again, so many people are working for extended periods of time in front of a computer. Yet again, here we go. Like so many of the conditions that we precision neuromuscular therapists see, there's really nothing to identify this particular syndrome in a diagnostic image. So x-rays, MRIs, that sort of thing, you know what you feel, and what you feel is very real, but you're not going to get some sort of imaging thing that goes, oh my gosh, there it is, right there on the screen. It's just not like that. The only way to come to this determination is by a very precise set of what we'll call clinical presentations. So when you describe what you feel and anything else has been ruled out, that's going to take us to scapulocostal syndrome. This area is kind of between the shoulder blades can be a problem. In one way, because it can be mistaken for something much more superficial. In that between the scapula, there are muscles called the rhomboids, and so therapists might actually use their elbow and put deep pressure in here. And really our experience has been, and what we've heard from clients and therapists is, that people will say, that's not it. Maybe if you just pressed a little harder, pressing harder is not the answer. Actually, it's not about pressure, it's about precision. That the areas that are involved in scapulocostal syndrome are so pinpoint and so small and so focused that broad, deeper, heavier pressure with, things like the elbow are never really going to be satisfactory and never really target the area. So you need to see somebody who's very familiar with this, and in our precision neuromuscular training, that's what we do, help therapists to key right in on the very epicenter of what this syndrome is all about. So I hope this is helpful. You can learn more at PNMT.org. So when you see your precision neuromuscular therapist, hopefully this gives you a little background into this particular condition that is scapulocostal syndrome. Thank you so much for watching.